the car. This as the best we can. Okay, we're just going to right into today's lesson and try to get through this, and it's going to be a great day. So I am going to read lesson 92. Miracles are seen in light, and light and strength are one. The idea for today is an extension of the previous one. You do not think of light in terms of strength and darkness in terms of weakness. That is because your idea of what seeing means is tied up with the body and its eyes and brain. Thus, you believe that you can change what you see by putting little bits of glass before your eyes. This is among the many magical beliefs that come from the conviction you are a body and the body's eyes can see. You also believe the body's brain can think. If you but understood the nature of thought, you could but laugh at this insane idea. It is as if you thought you held the match that lights the sun and gives it all the warmth, or that you held the world within your hand, securely bound until you let it go. Yet this is no more foolish than to believe the body's eyes can see, the brain can think. It is God's strength in you that is the light in which you see, as it is his mind with which you think. His strength denies your weakness. It is your weakness that sees through the body's eyes, peering about in darkness, to behold the likeness of itself, the small, the weak, the sickly, and the dying, those in need, the helpless and afraid, the sad, the poor, the starving, and the joyless. These are seen through eyes that cannot see and cannot bless. Strength overlooks these things by seeing past appearances. It keeps its steady gaze upon the light that lies beyond them. It unites with the light of which it is a part. It sees itself. It brings the light in which yourself appears. In darkness, you perceive a self that is not there. Strength is the truth about you. Weakness is an idol falsely worshipped and adored that strength may be dispelled, and darkness rule where God appointed that there should be light. Strength comes from truth and shines with light its source has given it. Weakness reflects the darkness of its maker. It is sick and looks on sickness, which is like itself. Truth is a savior and can only will for happiness and peace for everyone. It gives its strength to everyone who asks in limitless supply. It sees that lack in anyone would be a lack in all. And so it gives its light that all may see and benefit as one. Its strength is shared, and it may bring to all the miracle in which they unite in purpose and forgiveness and in love. Weakness, which looks in darkness, cannot see a purpose in forgiveness and in love. It sees all others different from itself and nothing in the world that it would share. It judges and condemns, but does not love. In darkness, it remains to hide itself and dreams that it is strong and conquering, a victor over limitations that but grow in darkness to enormous size. It fears and it attacks and hates itself. And darkness covers everything it sees, leaving its dreams as fearful as itself. No miracles are here, but only hate. It separates itself from what it sees, while light and strength perceive themselves as one. The light of strength is not the light you see. It does not change and flicker and go out. It does not shift from night to day and dark and back to darkness until the light comes again. The light of strength is constant, sure as love, forever glad to give itself away, but it cannot give but to itself. No one can ask in vain to share its sight, and none who enters its abode can leave without a miracle before his eyes and strength and light abiding in his heart. The strength in you will offer you the light and guide your seeing so you do not dwell in idle shadows that the body's eyes provide for self-deception. Strength and light unite in you, and where they meet, your self stands ready to embrace you as its own. Such is the meeting place we try today to find and rest in, for the peace of God is where yourself, his son, is waiting now to meet itself and be as one. Let us give 20 minutes twice today to join this meeting. Let yourself be brought unto yourself. Its strength will be the light in which the gift of sight is given you. Leave, then, the dark a little while today, and we will practice seeing in the light, closing the body's eyes, and asking truth to show us how to find the meeting place of self and, like our capital S self, where light and strength are one. Morning and evening, we will practice this. After the morning meeting, we will use the day in preparation for the time at night when we can meet again in trust. Let us repeat as often as we can the idea for today and recognize that we are being introduced to sight and led away from darkness to the light where miracles can be perceived. And again, today's lesson 92, miracles are seen in light, and light and strength are one. I'm trying to go back to this one moment. To see if I can find, there was a moment that really resonated with me, but I don't know if I can find it. Also, I'm just going to jump here in the chat. I don't know if I'm terribly blurry. The great one, you're so kind. He said she's driving and reading. She's doing great. Thank you. Good to see you all this morning. Thankfully, I'm not the one driving, but it is raining pretty hard here in Austin, Texas, and I am in the car. Y'all, for those of you who didn't see the beginning of this video, it was quite treacherous. But anyways, good morning. Thank you all for joining me, y'all. I'm reminded how every one of us has a part that is effectively, there's a desire for us to be, there's a desire for us to self-preserve and to keep ourselves safe. And it's really kind of that lizard reptile brain, so to say. And we are so much more safe than our bodies think that we are. And when we recognize that we are actually indeed safe, we can begin to allow for our eyes to adjust and see through the eyes of God, to see other people, to look upon what would be darkness or a frustrating situation and see the light in it. But there's something around telling kind of that lizard part of our brain and saying, hey, I'm actually safe. You don't need to fight or fear or flee to survive. I'm in a safe place. Because a lot of times we are actually living in reaction to the world around us based on what our body remembers from childhood. And so the more that we actually kind of tell our bodies that we're safe, I think that this is why meditation is really important, because it slows our breathing and it brings us into the present moment and reminds us that we're safe. And then we can start learning new ways of seeing and being and loving people. Only when our body is at peace can we introduce new programs and new ways of being. Otherwise, we're constantly living in reaction and constantly kind of driven by fear and rooted in fear because our body is acting out of survival mode. So if we want to start living in accordance with this message of seeing the light and looking at people through that position of the light and being the light, which is our core function, is being the light of the world, we cannot do that if our bodies don't realize that we're safe. And so yesterday, I was hosting a dinner party with my darling, and we were having a really, really amazing conversation. And one other gentleman, he grew up very much so in the hood, and he had to train his body that he was safe. And only then could he start making leaps and bounds in his, intimate relationships where he was no longer operating by fear, leaps and bounds in his business because now he's not making fear-based decisions, but he's able to really think clearly and objectively rather than having the past color his perception. So every part of our life is impacted if we're operating out of fear. And we cannot change that until we kind of get to a place of stasis and peace to introduce a new foundation to replace fear with love. So with that, thank you all so much for joining. I know that this is such a bumpy ride. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'm going to be live again tonight. I think I'll be live probably closer to 9:30 Eastern, and I'll schedule that one. For joining this morning, remember, miracles are seen in light, and light and strength are one. And as we move towards that light, as we actually are willing to operate in a place and from a place of love, we have supernatural access to strength beyond our own ability and beyond our own ability, so that we have help in time of need. And what a blessing that is. So, all right, have a wonderful day, y'all. I'm sorry I didn't get to, streaming while driving. I'm not actually driving. See my hands? I agree, that would be very dangerous. I love that. I'm like impressed. You guys are not wise, so I'm with you. Um, Poopy plopper, don't worry, we're all good. Some guy, good morning. King Charles, good morning. Thanks for joining. Archie, um, smell smell me. Good morning. The advice guy, great one. Thanks for coming and being so kind. Thanks for coming back. Michael Kennedy, good morning. Yamiz, thanks for hanging out. Viking Lloyd, good morning. I'm so glad to see you. Um, Real MT, good morning. Almayo, Jerry Mitchell, good morning. Suraj, thanks for coming. Alvin. All right, y'all. Thank you for joining. I will see you later today. And I'll talk to you then. Have a good day.